95.7 Jazz Home and Rick Smiley Morning Show. I am Ace Torm. Got a special guest in the building. Yep, you know it, man. So look, this man been in the game for a good little minute. I ain't gonna talk too much because I need him to tell y'all what he got going on, man. Done Trip, what's going on?
Man, living, man. Long time alive, I can't complain.
So, man, speaking of, you've been in the game for a long time.
Yeah.
10 plus years. How do you consistently keep coming with what you got going on music, like through all the errors and all the changes going on?
Once I gathered the ability to control my situation,
Yeah.
I had to I had to keep it being content. Once I was in a space where I could put my music out on my own, do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
I had to make sure I never got comfortable enough to just only do it when I wanted to do it. And and the money's great, so I get to do what I want.
Now, is it better being a record label or better just doing it independent?
I think it's pros and cons either way. If I'm from with a record label, you got the whole machine backing you.
Yeah.
Depending on how successful you are, and in the record label's eyes.
Right.
But, you got a whole machine backing you. You got the TV spotlight and whatsoever. Independent though, I don't get to blame nobody. That's how I operate. I don't know how to place the blame on other people.
Yeah.
And it's easier when I can, keep an eye on everything that's going on. That was one of the reasons why the record deal didn't work out, because I'm paying too much attention. And a lot of the things that's going on are, in most situations, the artists don't pay attention to all of the key,
because there's so much going on behind the scenes.
Not only is it so much, but once you got of age, you didn't want to go to school. You didn't want to go and learn. That at some point you realize, for people that went to college, they went to college because they felt like furthering their education would help them progress further in life.
Right.
But high school, nobody went to high school because they loved learning. They wanted to go to high school.
Yeah.
Unless whoever you are and you did, I don't know what kind of person that is. But in the music business, it's the same way. Like times 10 though, because no matter what you thought you knew when you walk into the music industry, you don't know much of what's going on. So all of it is a learning process. Gotcha. And if you're already learning all the physical things, you gotta learn how to adapt to the fame. You gotta learn how to work with people you never met in your life. On top of that, you gotta learn how to understand what's going on in your situation. Right. And that ain't an easy thing to do, because again, who wants to keep learning more and more? That takes a different kind of discipline, so to speak. And that was the thing, I stepped in and I wanted to know, hey, all right, if we're doing this and it costs that, why are we paying that?
Yeah.
Why can't we go here with this? Right. And that was one of the things. That's like the last thing they want you doing is asking questions.
Now, if you had to rewind the hands of time, would you have signed?
The same thing.
Would you still sign?
I think if I wouldn't have done it, I wouldn't. I look at my life like if it's the biggest word in the dictionary. If my mama wouldn't have had me, how her life would have turned out. But that's an if. Same way with, signing to the record label. If I wouldn't have signed to the record label, I wouldn't have learned the things that I learned, or learned the things that I didn't know I needed to learn. Right. Because that was a whole different situation. So, if I didn't do that, then I don't see me being where I am right now, or going where I plan to go. I think I needed that to get me in the space to open my mind. Like I said, I didn't want to learn more about what was going on. I was more in a space where I had to know. I'm one of those people I can't not know. And me looking into more things, it taught me more things, and it taught me that everybody don't want you to know.
You right about that? Yeah, they're gonna hide it from you. So you funding your own tour, right?
Indeed.
So how is that transition? Yeah, how is that transition paying for everything? You had that motive at the beginning, but now that you really pushing your own music, pushing your own movement, how is that transition for us financial wise and just the whole thing?
Again, pros and cons. The cons are, I'm covering every overhead expense, but that's why I've been doing this for so long, and it kind of, for the most part, it let me know I've been doing the right thing, and I ain't really too frivolous when it comes to my spending. So I was in the space where I could invest in that. Right. To me, the best investment for me is myself. Right. I'm the one thing that I know I can count on. Yeah. Right. So that's pretty much how I look at it. The pros to it, I get the bread. I don't have to pay so and so a percentage and so a percentage. And even when I do have to pay the people, the expenses I have to take care of, I'm fully aware of what I'm paying for. Right. I ain't in a situation where I get 20-30% of my hard work.
Mm-hmm.
So
you kind of see your
no matter how much work
check.
goes, how much physical labor goes into it,
Right.
I can take it because it's worth it in the end.
Gotcha. So the future projects, what we working on right now for us?
We're working on a few things, man. I'm about to turn into Gucci. Man.
What's
I got about 2 projects
come
dropping
up,
this year. Next year I'm gonna run wild. We're working on Step Brothers 4, me and Starlito. For all the Step Brothers fans, Step Brothers for Life is on the way. Man, I'm just gonna run wild.
Yeah.
The way I'm about to start dropping in, it's unseen, man. It's unseen.
So working with future artists and whatnot, I know you kind of like working. You like working with having features on your songs, or you really ain't into all that?
I don't much care to be
lane?
honest. What I do, like right now, what I'm doing, when I see young artists trying to come up, and especially if they're independent, when I see people in the same footsteps I was in,
right,
then I try to reach out, whether I know them or not, whether I visited where they from or not. I try to reach out and I'll do a verse. I'll trade a verse. I'll do a verse. They can do a verse. I'll do a verse on theirs. They can do a verse on mine. We shoot both videos. My video ain't. My video I accommodate. They video I won't charge you nothing. Maybe travel or something. But I try to work with them in the manner that other artists in at my level wouldn't work with them. When I was coming up, the only way an artist on a higher tier would work with you is if you signed with them.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, man. Like a lot of artists that's already on, they kind of reach out to the ones that's on the come up. Like, what would you say as far as that? Like, cause I
mean, that's the thing.
They should do more of that for seeing a young brother trying to get it.
I think it should be more. How could I say that? I think it should be less of a monetary gain from it, if that makes sense. I mean, I don't think it's genuine unless it is. I mean, I get it. I know that's how the music industry works, but I think sometimes we get caught in that. Like, me signing you could hinder your process. You could be as independent as I am, and if you independently driven, and I jump in and I throw my money, the money you didn't have on your own. Now I got you. my bad. Now I got you in the mind frame that that we're gonna run it for you.
Right.
And that's the last thing I want you to think, because I've been through it. I want you to pay attention to what's going on. So I think sometimes that hinders the artist. I mean, we see about 1,000 artists get signed every time we look up.
But you don't hear to about 3 of them blowing up.
Right.
Honestly.
But the reason you don't hear that because the record label, whether it's an independent label or it's an artist running a record label or it's a record label,
right? They
all got the same mode. They all run the same way.
Same system.
Right. When they put you in the light, if you don't show some return, and when I put you in the light, then you wasn't worth it. But in reality, you don't know what that person got the potential to be or to do. Some of those people, I imagine a few years back when J. Cole came out, they marketed J. Cole like every other rapper. He had the chains on and everything. Look at J. Cole.
And that wasn't him.
Totally different person.
That wasn't him.
Right. He didn't pop until he showed who he really is.
Right.
And the record labels don't give you that liberty to be who you really are. You got to be who they are, and a lot of times when you sign to a rapper, you got to be like that rapper. And I don't think that's fair, so to speak. Depending on the situation, I think everything's case by case. But at the same token, I think that's how they look at it. They look at it like, I'm gonna go back and sign so and so, sign so and so. A lot of times they ain't signing so and so because they like how how he rocking or like his movement. Yeah. They sign them because when they sign him, that's income that comes in that they don't gotta pay the label for. And these are things I wouldn't learn if I wasn't signed to a record label. So they go back to that. If I could do it again, I'd do it all twice.
So I always want to ask a veteran that's been in the game for a long time.
I appreciate that.
Now, check this out, Don. Do you think should it be hard to make a hit? If this your full-time job as an artist, I don't think it's hard to make a hit. Or is it if this your full-time job?
I think it depends on what you classify as a hit. I mean, I've run my whole career with the absence of radio success, and so far as work. That's not something I'm not against. Having radio success, but that's a whole different machine. That's something I'm not tooled to do, so to speak. Right. So like I said, it depends on how you classify a hit. If you mean a hit like, you know, something that the streets are gonna pump for years, then I think that's supposed to be organic. If you're talking about something that the club runs with, then that's a whole different ballgame. I've never really been in the field. I'm not a club dude. I don't frequent the club. So that was one of the main things when I got in it. I wanted to be able to do what I do and not have to conform. I mean, some of the things you got to adapt to, but I didn't want to conform. I didn't want to be the guy trying to make the music for this set of people when I'm not even that kind of. Right. If I ain't that kind of person, I can't make the music for that. It's like, you don't hear much about me doing, you don't hear anything about me doing drugs, but you don't hear much about all the fun drugs in my music, because I don't do drugs, so I ain't gonna give you no kind of incentive to think that you being like me by doing whatever they out there doing. Gotcha. But the same thing, I could easily go and make those kind of songs, and a lot of times that's kind of music that pop. So if I'm gonna chase the hit record, then I'm gonna put all my integrity to the side to go and do that. So that's why I say it kind of depends. But some people, like the people that's having fun, that's like strictly having fun with the music. None of the music has anything to do with their real life. I think it's the easiest for them to make hits because nothing about what they do is organic. They just riding the wave. Right. But even that run out. You can only adapt it so much and pretend to be so much. I just don't want my kids doing it. I want them to chase what they want to do. I don't want to be I ain't trying to knock nobody. We all function differently.
You prefer them to go another lane with it, though?
Not so much. I prefer them to do what they want to do. I don't want to be the parent trying to get my son in the studio because it's cute. Instagram loves it to see my son rap. If they, he ain't even. My son's only 10. He not in a space where he know what he want to do yet. Right. I want them to
grow into himself with it.
Right. I want him to be himself. I want him to be his daddy. Of course, he got personality traits. He's gonna be like his daddy, but I don't want him to be me. I want him to be him. Right. So he might grow up and say he want to go and open a dance studio or something, teach ballet. I wouldn't do that, but that's what I'm saying.
That's something that we want to do.
Right. I got it. When I first started doing this, and I've been rapping since I was like 10 or 11. My family didn't push me to go be a rapper. They wanted me to go do something that made sense, but they come from a mind frame where people ain't chasing no dream. They ain't got no dream to chase. Yeah, so we in the hood, you gotta go pay the bills. Right. So I get it. But everything I've done puts my children in a space where they get to worry about being children and not worry about the bills. They're not in the space I was in growing up. Right. And nobody encouraged me to chase my dreams. So if I didn't have it in myself to do it and go chase it, then I wouldn't even be sitting here. I'd be at Kinko's or something. Yeah. So for my child, I want to be that person that I didn't have. If you want to go open a dance studio, rather, I think that's, a little too feminine tonight. If that's what he want to do, then I'm supporting it 100%. And, he won't get any strict, any kind of friction from me. If that's what he want to do, let's do that. Gotcha. But I think, sometimes rappers get caught into, I think sometimes they get caught in the light. I ain't trying to have my kids do this for me, for my benefit. Right. I think whatever they do in life is supposed to be for them, and if they love whatever it is they're doing, they'll appreciate it even more. So, yeah,
you're a different type of individual, man.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
What can we look forward to next other than music? What else we got?
Other than music,
something that nobody knows.
Man, I'm one of them people that don't much talk about my business, and I ain't doing no movies. If I do a movie, I'm gonna have to go and take acting classes or something. Yeah. I watched a few interviews and I heard Denzel say it a few times that he still has an acting coach. Yep. So if Denzel Washington still got an acting coach, then that says I can't just jump in film and think I got it. And a lot of times, there's some rappers that do it really well, but a lot of them don't. I don't think I hate anything more than watching a movie with a rapper that can't act. Not to say that rappers shouldn't go into acting. I just think if that's what you're gonna do, then you gotta study that, and you can't play that like you play music. Right. That's a whole different ball game. Real tough. Yeah. But I don't got no movies on the way right now. All I got is a lot of music. The most acting you're gonna see from me is music videos. I ain't never really been much into putting out a lot of music videos, but we in a different time now, and I gotta adapt. Yeah, it's different time frame. That's why I asked you that transition. Yeah, so I got a lot of videos pumping. That's all the acting I'm doing for now, though. other than that, you know, in my real life, you know, all my investments and stuff, I try not to, you know, talk too much about it. Well, you know, I don't think I can for the most part. I come from a different world before rap, so some of the things, if I was into promoting, then I would have people that dislike my businesses just because of me. If you don't know what I don't know what I've invested in, then
if you weren't rapping, what else you'd be doing?
If I wasn't rapping, I would probably be doing what New York does, for real.
PD.
No, not that. Not the PD part. We
yeah.
had a different discussion.
Okay. That's something
really
totally different then. Let me find out.
But no, I don't know, man. Before rap, I was doing something I would never want my children to do.
Right.
Like I said, if it's a big word, so I really couldn't say. I can only hope that I would have matured enough to be doing something that was legit and something that could help my family prosper, though. Yeah.
Man, Don, definitely good talking to you, bro.
Indeed,
Wish
bro.
we could stay for another hour, but I know we got things to do.
Yeah,
you got things to do.
yeah,
Man, deal. But appreciate it, man. For all the ones out there who ain't follow you, tell them what people would follow you at.
Man, all the social media platforms is at Mr. Don Trip, MrDonTrip. Everything but Snapchat. I don't do Snapchat. But other than that, you know, appreciate the love.
Just like that. We go.
Yeah.